Hey guys, what's going on? We're going to talk about a couple different things. The title shows differences between a protest and a riot, and we're going to get into that in just a moment. All right, guys, welcome back. I just want to go over a couple things with you guys. Stuff's going crazy, of course, as you guys know. Lots of protests, lots of riots, and it's going on nationwide. It's going around, every state almost. I mean, even here, Central Florida, where the officer that was arrested for the murder of Mr. George Floyd owns a summer home, vacation home, whatever you want to call it. It is exactly 25 minutes from my house. There are no protests in my city, my county that I'm aware of, but let's break it down. All right, now I want to start with a protest. So basically, a protest is a statement or action expressing disapproval of or objection to something. Okay. Um, Another one is express an objection to what someone has said or done. She wouldn't let him pay, and he didn't protest. And he finally declared something. Okay. Now let's go back up here. I don't know if it's going to give us. Okay, so a peaceful protest, which nothing's wrong with, is a nonviolent resistance. Okay, nonviolent action. Is the practice of achieving goals such as social change through symbolic protest, civil disobedience, economic or political non-cooperation, as well as other methods. Um, a lot of that is going on. Most of these protests are what's going on at his home. Uh, it's down in Windermere, Florida. Again, about 25 minutes from where I live. Um, I did see today that somebody did vandalize and spray paint, and I'm not trying to make it racial because this is not racial. But somebody did spray paint. Sorry, guys. Somebody did spray paint on their BLM, which stands for Black Lives Matter. But overall, the protests and stuff in Orlando have been pretty peaceful. There was some stuff downtown Orlando that happened where the law enforcement Orlando Police Department did have to use pepper spray, tear gas. I'm sorry, not pepper spray, tear gas, and I believe rubber bullets to get people off of the State Road 408, which is also known as the East-West Expressway here in Orlando, because they were blocking a main highway that runs, east to west. Okay, now I want to jump into this real quick because I have a lot of different things I want to talk about. Of a riot. And as you can see, a riot is a violent disturbance of the peace by a crowd, an impressively large or varied display of something. Okay. You guys can see right here. I mean, all we have to do is go to the news, and we're seeing all this coverage on riots going on for the George Floyd case. The thing is, guys, and I know that my video is not going to really probably reach many. I mean, this is the kind of shit that's going on. You're burning down your cities, you're looting, and for what? What is that going to get you? Let's see. Look what comes up in the Google search. What is this going to achieve? What is this looting going to achieve, guys? Nothing. When you burn down your city, you loot, you go in these targets. Why? That's the $1 million question. What are you achieving by doing this? Nothing. You're not sending a message or anything at all. Look at this. I believe this was the target. Why? Why, guys? It's a disgrace. Yes, what happened to Mr. Floyd is terrible. I'm not backing or justifying his actions. I've made that very clear in my last video. But to go in here and loot, steal, and take what you want to take is absolutely wrong. It's criminal. And this is not what you call a peaceful protest. Yeah, you can stand up for something that, you're obviously aggravated about, pissed off about, mad about, much like I am. Um, but this kind of stuff that's going on, guys, is unnecessary. That's why you're going to see the National Guard has already been called in, guys. And it's not just happening in Minneapolis, right? It's happening nationwide. It's happening in Atlanta. It's happening in Boston, Chicago, New Orleans, Orlando, Florida, Los Angeles. Yesterday in Oakland, California, there was a federal law enforcement officer that was murdered, shot, and killed over this. Where does it end, guys? Why would you burn an AutoZone? Why would you do any of this? Absolutely a disgrace. You're not getting your message through. You want to have a peaceful protest, that's different. But to go on here and do riots and things like that and burn stuff, no, guys, not the answer. And I'm going to reiterate something. Look at this McDonald's. Terrible. And I'm going to reiterate something to you. You can debate me on it if you want. I will not change my stance. Not all law enforcement officers are bad. Okay? I'm not going to say whether this was premeditated because I have not seen the body cam footage. I have not seen video of the other side when he was taken to the patrol car. I will say that the officer's actions were a disgrace to law enforcement and to the nation. And there was no need for it. All right. I will say that. It is manslaughter. And justice will prevail. All right. He will be found guilty. But we need to know what led up to Mr. Floyd being put on the ground. Because just because you're in handcuffs does not mean you can't resist arrest. However, having your knee in somebody's neck for that long is absolutely wrong. And it should have never got that far. Law enforcement officers are not trained to do that. Okay. Um, the other three officers that were involved, because this is not a race thing. They want to make it out to be a race thing, and they want to loot and do this and commit violent crimes, harm other people. Okay. The three others could potentially be facing accessory to manslaughter because they did not pull the officer off of Mr. Floyd. All right, and that's all going to come out. But we have a justice system for a reason. Okay, so you guys need to understand that. And I'm going to go ahead and say this, whether you like it or not all law enforcement officers are bad. There are many wonderful law enforcement officers. Okay, there are more law enforcement officers out there that are better than if you break down the percentages, which if you want me to, I will do some research and break down percentages of corruption and law enforcement officers that do honor their oath. Okay. But you cannot sit here and say that all police officers are bad and cops are the fault in this and this and this. In this particular case, this officer was wrong and he committed murder. The other three will probably be charged with accessory too because they did nothing. But think about this. These men and women right here holding the line to try to keep it peaceful. My thoughts and prayers go out out to every single law enforcement officer in this nation, because they have huge targets on their backs. Okay, guys? It's sad. And my thoughts and prayers definitely go out to Mr. George Floyd's family, friends, coworkers, because what we saw happen was absolutely a disgrace. But to see comments, officers need to be shot, officers need this, that, no, guys, because not all law enforcement officers are bad. There are many, many more good than bad, believe me. And that's all I got for you guys. I'm also going to post this video on my other channel, which is in the description below. As you guys know, I'm kind of getting at a ride share, so I do have another channel that I'm going to have about 3 or 4 new videos coming up soon. They are memorial videos that I've been wanting to do. So that's all I got. If you guys have any questions, comments, just put it in the description, or I'm sorry, put it in the comments below. And you can also send me an email and you want to have a talk, discussion. I'm open to it. Again, I'm sending my prayers out, as I do every day, to all law enforcement officers, men and women, first responders, and the ones that are having to hold the lines. And my family does also go out to Mr. George, or my prayers do also go out to the family of Mr. George Floyd. And that's all I got for you guys. Later.